Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I have a Android TV box for you. It is the Alphawise X95 R1 4K Ultra HD Android TV box. Now as you can see, the packaging that this particular TV box comes in is not very descriptive at all. It is very, very plain. Nothing really on the side. If we flip it over to the back, we can see that it is the A95X R1. You have a quad-core Cortex A7 1.5 gigahertz CPU in there. The GPU is a unnamed pentacore HD graphics. You got 1 gigabyte of RAM and 8 gigabytes of storage and 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So those of you who are operating on 5 gigahertz, hopefully you have a dual band router. Now, again, this guy is pretty cheap, which is why I bought him. I think it cost me about 27 Australian dollars, which works out to be 23, maybe even a bit less US dollars. So very, very affordable, very cheap. I got it with the explicit purpose to run Kodi. And we'll see if it can handle that a little bit later. First, let's get into the unboxing. So as I mentioned before, this is a very plain, nondescript box, but let's go ahead and just pry this guy open. Okay, so here's the unit itself. Take it out here. It's in this little baggie. Now, as you can see, it says Alphawise A95X R1, sorry. If we flick it over, you'll notice it says there, it's got the model number A95X R1, and the CPU is a Rockchip RK3229. You got your 1 gigabyte of RAM and your 8 gigabytes of storage. Just looking at the unit itself, it seems to be pretty well built. There are some design flourishes here, like I don't know if you can see this, but it's a bit curved in places. It's nice to hold. It's pretty light. It's not much to it. It's fairly small, fits in the palm of your hand sort of thing. If we have a look around the device itself, you'll notice that we have a TIFF, or otherwise known as a micro SD card slot right there. So that's to expand the storage. You have 2 USB ports. I believe those are USB 2.0, but I'm not sure. We have a 5-volt DC input. It's a little barrel plug there. We have an HDMI port. You have the old school AV port. So that's if you want to connect it via the yellow, red, white cables. You have a LAN port. That's a RJ45 connector. So if you want to connect it straight to your router, you can. And that looks like an audio jack right there, so just a 3.5 mil, which is pretty standard. So as I mentioned before, there's not much to this little box. It's black. It's got a bit of a matte finish up on the top, a bit shinier down here. From what I understand, when you turn it on, there is a blue LED that lights up down here. But other than that, it is pretty basic. It's small, it's compact. It's nice, feels pretty sturdy, so let's keep going here. We'll put that off to the side there. So the user manual, wow, this is pretty flimsy. So again, the paper is pretty pulpy. It basically just tells you what's in the box and essentially how to plug everything in, as if that wasn't kind of common knowledge. So user manual there, pretty useless. I don't think many people will have a problem connecting this guy. So let's keep going here. All right, so it looks like we have an AC adapter. Again, it's a barrel plug, but again, it is the US plug. So here in Australia, I'm going to need to pop an adapter onto that guy, but that shouldn't be an issue. Set that off to the side. So you have your HDMI cable as well. Nothing special there. It should work. I've never had an issue with any of these boxes before, and the HDMI cables that come supplied with them seem to do the job. So that should be all right. And finally, we have the remote. The remote is pretty stock standard. I've seen lots of these little Android TV boxes. They all utilize essentially the same remote. The buttons feel pretty nice. You know, they're rubberized. You know, it feels pretty sturdy. There's no indicator light on this one. I've seen an indicator light on some of the others. But other than that, nothing too special about it. It does have this mouse button down here. So if you are using a particular app or whatever that is not responding to the directional inputs, you can always hit that button there and a little mouse cursor will appear on the screen and you can move it around, hit OK. That's essentially a click or a tap. And other than that, this guy looks pretty stock standard. Nothing special here. I believe it takes AAA batteries. But that does it for the unboxing. So essentially a nondescript box, a useless manual, power adapter, you got your HDMI cable, and you have the unit itself, which you know, for 27 bucks around that region, I wasn't expecting much. So we'll just have to hook this guy up and see how he goes. Okay guys, so we have the Alphawise A95X R1 TV box connected up to a Kogan 4K 50-inch television. Just waiting for it to boot up, and we're in. So it looks like we have a different launcher. It is a launcher that you see that's pretty stock standard on a lot of these little TV boxes. It's optimized for a remote, obviously. If we look around here, you have the Google Play Store, Chrome seems to be pre-installed, YouTube. Looks like you have a bunch of other apps maybe as well. You know, whether or not you'll use any of these, I don't know. But the big draw here, for me at least, is Kodi. So I bought this particular device with the distinct purpose of running Kodi. Now, out of the box, this thing ran TVMC, which is kind of a forked version of Kodi. It's not officially supported. It's not developed by Team Kodi. It is, you know, something else entirely different. I don't particularly like the way it looks. I don't like the interface all that much. I much prefer the stock standard Kodi app. Now, the other thing is, as well, the TVMC app that came pre-installed on this device had a whole bunch of add-ons on there, stuff that was already pre-installed. So I went in, I got rid of all those add-ons because, I mean, let's face it, you know, these add-ons, some of them are not, you know, particularly trustworthy sources, etc., etc. So got rid of all those. I had read on GearBest that Kodi, the actual stock standard Kodi app, could not be installed on this particular box due to the fact that it was using a Rock chip processor. I decided to uninstall TVMC anyway to see if I can get Kodi on it, and sure enough, I was successful in doing so. You'll notice that on the actual screen here, it still says TVMC, but when I click into it, it should bring up your stock standard Kodi, so that you can see 17.4 Krypton, and everything looks good. It is, again, the stock standard version of Kodi, no issues there, so pretty happy with that. I have tested X265 files, otherwise known as HEVC. Those play fine. It has no problem dealing with any of those files, and it will also do 4K video. I don't have any 4K video at the moment to show you. However, this TV is 4K, and I can verify that in the settings of the box itself, you can change the resolution anywhere from 480 all the way up to 4K. So if we click back, you'll notice that the YouTube app, I just wanted to mention this one quickly. If we fire up the YouTube app here, you'll notice that it's not the YouTube TV app. Instead, it's the standard YouTube app. Now, this is a problem because the remote that they give you with this particular device does not really function all that well with the stock YouTube app. You do have to hit the little mouse button, in order to get a mouse cursor to appear on the screen, you can see it there. And it's painfully slow. Now you can go into the options and increase the sensitivity of the mouse cursor function in the settings. However, I've tried to play around with it to get it a little bit more responsive, and this is the best that I could do. I am hitting this button a million times just to get it to move slightly. So not fantastic, not the best way to use it. You'll probably want to invest in a separate keyboard mouse combo. Now, I don't know why the YouTube app is failing to open right now, so I'm going to go back and just see if I can get back into it. Just give me a sec here. Let's see. The other thing I should note as well is that the remote that comes with this particular box is atrocious. It's really, really terrible. You have to be really, really close to the box itself in order to actually use it. Even then, it seems somewhat unresponsive. You have to click a button numerous times for it to do anything. So again, not particularly impressed with the stock remote that comes with this particular device. So like I said before, to use the YouTube app on here, I have to use this mouse cursor, and it is just painful. It is absolutely brutal. I mean, I can just get it to click on things. And that's about it. I can't really do much else with this thing. So a little bit disappointed there. But again, if you get a keyboard mouse combo, I would definitely get one of those instead. Now, I'm not sure what's going on. I am in Australia, and the internet is absolutely terrible here, so it could be why YouTube isn't working. But in my previous tests before I fired this up, everything was working fine. So again, as you can see, the Alphawise A95X R1 is capable of running Kodi and YouTube, and that's pretty much all I really wanted it for. The remote is terrible, so I'm going to be definitely looking into buying myself a keyboard mouse combo, and I'll let you guys know which one I decide to go with in the future. And other than that, I mean, for the price, this thing is pretty good, I have to admit. I'm pretty impressed. For 27 Australian dollars, I really think you could do a lot worse. So yeah, I would give this one a go, but again, you need to invest in a better input device because the remote that comes with this thing is useless. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.